Chiefs Kingdom ACU crew, welcome back to All Chiefed Up. We're back with another live stream podcast for that ass, powered by BetUS. Steve, let's jump right into our sponsor really quick. Let's let people get in here, get ready to go, and we'll drop some news on you guys. But first, let's give a shout out to our sponsor, BetUS, for sponsoring this live stream tonight. Head over to BetUS.com and check out what they got going on. Right now, if you use code YouTube150, you get a 150% deposit bonus match on your first deposit. And then on your next two deposits, you get a 125% match bonus. Those are up to $2,000. So take advantage of all the free plays you can make with those deposit matches. The site's easy to use. There's plenty of props on there. It's easy to navigate. Get over to BetUS.com and use promo code YouTube150. Let them know All Chiefed Up sent you their way. Steve, let's get right into the news tonight. We're just going to jump right in. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, they've announced that they're going to open his 21-day practice window, Steve. And this is usually good news, right? It's usually good news. Are you excited about Clyde Edwards-Helaire getting his practice window opened up?
Well, I saw it earlier. It caught me a little off guard. I wasn't for sure. They hadn't really mentioned it or anything, so it's like, whatever. But I thought, well, he's ready to play because it's kind of on him, right? So he's ready to play. No big deal. But I guess there's more.
There's more. There is a sinister reason, guys. It's pretty much confirmed. The news is not out there anywhere. It's not out there. Apparently, it's going to drop tomorrow. But from everything we're hearing from people inside of the situation, Steve, there's an injury. There's an injury that will be reported tomorrow in the running back room. The Chiefs cannot escape injuries. We are getting hammered. Is it the real deal Carson Steele? Is it P. Ryan? Is it Kareem Hunt? It sounds like it's Kareem Hunt, ladies and gents. It sounds like they're in that final drive where P. Ryan come in and vultured that touchdown, and Kareem Hunt got tackled a little wonky. Apparently, something's going on. They didn't make it public, but he has been seeing team doctors, and it looks like he's going to make the first injury report of the week tomorrow, Steve. And as we all know, this usually happens on Wednesday, but we're not playing on Sunday this week. We're playing on Thursday, so everything, the players won't be available till tomorrow. The first injury report's not available till Thursday. Kareem Hunt is going to appear on that initial injury report tomorrow. Now, I don't know what the injury is in full. I have no knowledge of what the injury is, how significant the injury is. But here's the thing. They're putting Clyde Edwards-Helaire back, and I think I have a pretty good indication from everything I'm hearing that they're probably going to activate him this week, this Sunday. So why would you rush him back so quick? Why would you activate Clyde this week for Sunday coming off this short notice if it's not something with Kareem Hunt that they didn't think that he would be able to play?
Right. Yeah, it's hard to be optimistic about it when they're kind of hitting the panic button. Like, come on, Clyde, we got to get you back in here, buddy.
Right.
But I mean, hopefully, like you said, we have no idea what it could be.
No, this is all just rumors coming out of the building. They've been confirmed. It's been confirmed on very good notice that he will appear on the injury report. The problem is
but
nobody knows exactly what the extent is. Yeah, we're not doctors. I'm not a doctor. Do you have a PhD?
Yeah, actually. Dr. Steve, to you, buddy.
Hang on. Dr. Steven.
No, but we don't know to what extent. So could it be something just smaller? He might miss a game. Could it just be something that's nagging him? Maybe. I guess we'll find out more on that tomorrow. Hope to God it's nothing that could put him on an IR or land him somewhere like that. We can't afford any more of this crap this year, man. We've had no luck so far. And like we were talking about before we even went live, Mike, it's kind of been a long time coming for the Chiefs because we have literally been so lucky with injuries over the last 3, 4, 5 years. Like nothing like major. There'd be people like Charles Omenihu or like stuff like that. But I mean, for the most part, we've kind of had that core group of guys and nothing crazy has happened. This year, it's kind of when it rains, it pours, man.
Yeah, well, we've got a little bit of positive news on the Rashee Rice front. Look, if it's an ACL and it's that bad, it does not take this long to get it diagnosed. You see it in the imaging. Now, look, they wanted to be super cautious. The whole thing with them not coming out with it is Rashee Rice and the team doctors wanted to go have second and third opinions. They wanted to wait for swelling to go down. Mahomes spoke with some of the media tonight. Shout out Matt Derrick. He put this little article out. Mahomes says, hopefully we're going to have him back soon. Optimism regarding the right knee of Rashee Rice continued spreading Wednesday, with Patrick Mahomes telling reporters, hopefully we have him back soon. Mahomes made the remark during an interview session with the local Chiefs beat writers. When asked how the team will replace the production of Rice, Mahomes displayed an optimistic tone regarding Rice and the potential return of Hollywood Brown. So they have a little bit of faith that it's possible that, yes, he is going to miss significant amounts of time, but it may not be an entire season. He may be back November. He could be back December. He may be back in January. But they have a little bit of hope that it's not a complete wash on the season.
Right. I mean, you have to try to be optimistic about it, right? So, like Ray said in the chat, we should have got a Joe Boo. If we would have got a Joe Boo, we could have warded off all this stuff.
I think we needed a Joe Boo, my man.
But I mean, in all seriousness, though, like the Chiefs weather a storm almost every year, right? Last year, it might not have been injuries, but it was like they just couldn't get right. It was terrible throughout the year. Like, I think that each year they have hurdles to overcome. And when you're going for a third freaking Lombardi in a row, which has never been done before, you have to know the football gods are going to throw some wrenches in the gears. They're not going to make that easy for you. So I think they just have to, weather the storm and next man up and make good decisions and make sure they're healthy and rolling at playoff time. So, I mean, we could go 20-0. That'd be so cool, right? They're 4-0 right now. They've yet to lose. But ultimately, it doesn't freaking matter. You just have to get to the playoffs and win. We saw that last year.
Yeah, well, look, with this potential Kareem Hunt injury, again, nobody knows exactly what it is. He could just be limited practice. He may be back participating in full by the end of the week. You never know. But he will initially appear on that report tomorrow. So if you guys are all Chiefed Up watchers, if you're watching this on X, if you're watching this on Facebook, if you're watching this on, it doesn't matter where you're watching this, YouTube. That's the big ones, YouTube. This is where we're at. You guys are going to know. Don't be alarmed when you see it tomorrow. You're going to see it, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of mass panic out there of people that they've not watched this. They're watching something else. They don't care, blah, blah, blah. They're not going to be privy to this information. Hopefully, by relaying this, and again, it's pretty much confirmed, but again, the extent is not there. And so don't go to bed thinking it's like a season-ending injury. I don't think it's that crazy. But the fact that you're rushing Clyde back, and the fact that Kareem actually looked really good last week. Like, he was getting it going on that drive. He had the hot hand for sure. I think it was his job to lose going forward. I don't think they were going to immediately just push Carson Steele to the curb, but he was going to have a time and a place to get carries. But I think the bell cow was going to be Kareem Hunt. I think that they didn't know if he was going to be ready to come in and do it, but he proved he was last year. They clocked him at like 15 miles per hour plus, like 3 or 4 different plays. The dude had some juice to him, and I think going forward, it was going to be him getting the bulk. And now we're right back in the same situation, that the reason we got him to begin with was because of an injury. So now it's like, Clyde, So what's the extent of this? We don't know. We'll find out tomorrow with everybody else, but just a heads up, it is going to happen. And so with that news, Steve, if Kareem Hunt cannot go against the Saints on Monday night, how do you see the backfield going? Do you think Clyde's now going to come in and assess that number 1 role, or do you think they're going to give it back to Carson Steele?
It's Carson Steele. I would not have been surprised if Kareem Hunt was completely healthy if it still wasn't Carson Steele to start the game out next week. I think they're going to – you have to let that run its course, right? Like, he's had a couple fumbles, but Andy Reid's always good about going back to those guys and letting them work that stuff out. I think there's a lot of promise with Carson Steele. We can't forget, like, how good that kid can be. So, yeah, we're excited about Kareem Hunt being back in the fold, being back in Kansas City. But I don't think you can let that make you lose sight of the big picture. Like, Carson Steele could legit be an RB1 in this league. So I think you have to give him his shots and let him go, go through his lumps and get to where he needs to be. I don't see fumbling being a problem for him in the future. I really don't.
If you go back to college, he only fumbled. I think he lost 2 fumbles per year, and he was in college for 3 years. So like 6, 7 fumbles lost. It wasn't like a huge problem. I don't think it's a huge problem moving forward. And I do think he is the best in a short yardage situation. He's still the guy to go to. Like, you're not going to anybody else but Carson Steele at this point. But I just thought that Kareem Hunt showed that, hey, he could be like it. And I think the Chiefs are basically, well, nowadays you see it, they're not going to run anybody like Derrick Henry. Like, he's not going to come out and run like Derrick Henry. So Andy's going to run it by committee. He always does. He always says that's the new way the NFL goes. I think they're all situational. You're going to see P. Ryan in certain situations. You're going to see Kareem Hunt. You're going to see, Carson Steele. But I think if Kareem Hunt cannot go and Clyde is going to be the third back now, I think that's weird that they didn't just, in my opinion, if this wasn't an injury that could last for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, why wouldn't they have just brought up a practice squad guy just to get us through one game, right? Like, why rush Clyde back? Then again, Clyde's not coming back off anything like horrible. He's coming back from like,
are they rushing him back too?
A mental.
So he might have been ready to come back anyway. It could have just timed out okay.
Yeah, the PTSD, maybe he didn't have to have 4 full weeks. Maybe he's been working through it. He's been working through it all offseason, to be honest. So
I think he's been going through that his entire career pretty much. So
yeah,
it's just the stuff you didn't really know until last year, actually this year.
Right.
But
so hopefully at the end of the day, though, right, maybe this is something minor, and maybe he does miss one game,
I'm at.
But who cares? We're going to have the bye week, and he should hopefully be back.
I would think if it's a major injury that's going to, like, put him on the IR, we'd already know. Like,
whew. Yeah,
I kind of doubt
we can't afford that anymore, can we? I'm tired of hearing the 2 letters IR. I'm tired of it.
So most people's focused on Rashee Rice, right? So I think that's the main concern. Like, Kareem Hunt's kind of an afterthought in that whole scheme of things. But I really don't think it's going to be something major. But it could be something nagging. It could be something that's a couple weeks. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But either way, we're in good hands. Because I swear, I think Carson Steele's going to be just fine. If we keep feeding him, he's gonna break some runs off. He's gonna do well. I'm not worried about it whatsoever. It does suck that we finally get Kareem Hunt back on the team after 5 years or whatever, and we're just like, it's been even longer than that. It's like been several years.
It's pretty nuts. Steve, so let's get to the other big news. The big news around Chiefs Kingdom is Rashee Rice, because Kareem Hunt's not going to be big news till tomorrow. You guys are getting an inside look. Like, you're going to get to prepare before everybody else has a meltdown. But here's the thing. It's all been the Rashee Rice thing, and we're not going to hear significant. I'm pretty sure they're not going to release anything about Rashee Rice's injury until after the game on Monday. It could come before then, but I think it's probably going to hold off till then. But everybody's talking about trade. Is Brett Veach going to trade? Is Andy going to make a move? Did you know we've only made, since 1994, I tweeted this earlier today, the Chiefs as a franchise has only made 5 moves since 1994. 5 trades where they have acquired a player after October the 1st. Only 5 times since 1994 have they done that after October 1st. And 4 of them, though, have been in the Andy Reid, Brett Veach era. Of course, they've been for meaningless players like a backup tight end, and we got Mecole Hardman back last year as kind of like a stopgap on the bleeding. Right, Kadarius Toney was probably the most significant, biggest splash move we've probably done at the trade deadline since '94. I mean, back in '94, I think we got Wayne Simmons from the Packers, a linebacker or something like that. It wasn't anything special, so. The Chiefs don't routinely make these big trade deadline splash moves, but all these people keep thinking it's going to happen. What's your thoughts on this? Because we released a video about this today. It says that a lot of our people didn't watch it. They weren't very interested in it. So I don't know why you guys weren't interested in 10 trade targets that we come up with, but I thought we'd done a good job of digging through them, and we put out a few names that I don't think a lot of people are talking about, Steve. But what do you think about the situation?
Well, I think trade's unlikely, right?
Yeah.
I do. Like, there's been a lot of injuries and stuff like that, and I think a lot of it's just like panicky stuff. Like, you already lost Hollywood Brown for the entire freaking year, more than likely. And then you have Rashee Rice, who was far and away our best offensive player for the first 4 weeks of the season, or 3 weeks, I should say, because Mahomes tried to murder him in week 4. But yeah, I think there's definitely reason for people to start wondering, hey, do we need to make a trade? Because we have PTSD from last year. No offense, Clyde, but we all have PTSD since last year because the wide receiver room was so garbage. So when we see like any kind of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but if we see it lacking at all now in the wide receiver room, Like, we're going to be a little panicky. And then you hear names out there. They've thrown out Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, those are some big names, dude. Those are like game changers. So, of course, people get excited about that. But we're also working with like $5 million cap space. I don't know. We're not the type of team that panics and does stuff like that. If anything, they would be trying to go back to an older player, just like they always freaking do. I could see them pulling Kadarius Toney in here to use him for a few weeks, or
Good grief.
yeah, or like even the MVS thing. Like, as much as that would suck, and I would never want to do it, like, it wouldn't surprise me. So I think that's kind of where they're at, man. Now, do I think it's impossible for them to do it? No, because I think Brett Veach has always got his eye on things. If he can get a good deal,
Right.
and make something happen, he will pull the trigger.
Well, look, from everything we're hearing throughout sources, and I think it's even starting to get reported right now, the Devontae Adams thing's out. Apparently, from everything we were hearing, that everybody in the Raiders organization said that they wouldn't even listen to anything if the Chiefs offered. And that was if the Chiefs offered. It's not even been confirmed that Brett Veach even reached out. But everything we're hearing right now is that there's basically a deal in place right now with the Jets, which we kind of all thought that. There was a few NFC teams that were reaching out.
It was either the Jets or the Saints, right?
Yeah, they didn't want to give up the draft capital. There was an NFC team that only they said they wasn't giving up no more than a 4th-round pick. And the Raiders didn't want to have it, blah, blah, blah. I think it's weird, though.
More
Isn't it
porridge,
funny?
sir. Please.
Isn't it funny, though, that the NFL is so weird with draft picks? Like, in baseball, they'll have a bench player coming out of the NBA, and they'll trade them for, like, 3 first-round picks. But in the NFL, you have, like, a dominant wide receiver, right? And you're like, I want a 2nd. And they're like, nah, well, the best we can do is a 5th and a bologna sandwich. And half the time, they do it. And the funny thing is, it's like, well, what are you hoping to get from that 1st-round pick? Like, when you give it up, like, you're hoping to find a Devontae Adams, but it's like, you can get him right here. It's kind of strange, but yeah, man. Let's go ahead and get to some of these super chats. Our boy Steve-O comes in with a 2-bomb, Steve. He says, best blessed podcast in the kingdom.
Let's go, Steve-O.
Daggone it, Steve-O, you're the man. And we also got a 10-bomb from Javier Sanchez. Javier Sanchez says, Hunt reborn, baby. Look, I thought he'd done really well with the Chiefs. He very much surprised me. Did I think he was going to be depleted and like an old decrepit,
No, but I didn't think he'd fit right in. I didn't know he'd feel right back at home like he did.
Didn't you get flashes of like 2017 a little bit? Like those delayed handoffs up the middle, and he ran hard. He was popping.
Just wait until they're able to incorporate him into the pass game, brother. It's going to be a good thing.
I know. Hopefully sooner than later, man. I don't want another. Man, we just can't afford to lose any more time with injury. So I'm hoping when he comes out on that report tomorrow is very minor. I'm hoping it's very minor.
The silver lining here is if it is something minor, if it's something he's even going to miss a couple games for, we got the early bye.
Dude, the early bye week is looking like a gift from the gods.
It's so funny how that worked out because we complained about it all offseason. Like, why would they do that to anybody?
Steve, the script writers were taking care of us the whole time.
Do you realize the Detroit Lions have a bye week this week? Like, that's insane that they do that to these teams. But for whatever reason, it could be a blessing in disguise right now. So, I mean, even if Kareem's hurt, say 2-3 games, we're only going to be missing him for a couple more weeks. Not the worst thing in the world, considering we didn't have him for 6-7 years, whatever it was.
Right, and I would feel like 2 or 3 games, that's actually would be 4 to 5 weeks of an injury. And if you put the bye week in, that's basically buying you a full 2 weeks almost,
Yeah, but it'll be all right.
I think he's going to be
Nothing
fine.
to worry
I appreciate
about
the 10-bomb there, Javier Sanchez.
Nothing
I got to get that on there
about.
where he sent me that video of his friend who's seen him get a donation. And he said, Javier Sanchez. I got to get that on here, man.
That's awesome. Before we get to the next one, though, just want to say thanks for being here tonight, hanging out with us. We know it's a little bit late on a weeknight, but we appreciate you being here. Do us a favor. Hit the like button for us. It helps get this out to more people. That way we can get more people in here and have some more fun. But also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do that. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers before the Super Bowl. We're moving right along, man. We're moving right along. So
we're moving along, but I'm going to tell you a little something right now. I don't know what's in the air, Steve. I don't know what's in the air. Back when camp was going on, Chiefs fans were booming. They were booming. They were excited. They were horned up for the season.
I feel like they're in hiding for the season.
Yeah, and for the first 4 weeks of the season, look across the board, look everywhere. Chiefs fans are kind of they're on the down low. I don't know if it's because the Royals are still playing baseball. Maybe people's hiding from the weather. I don't know. It's hot still. but today it got nice. So maybe they're waiting for the football weather. Maybe they're waiting on, I don't know what they're waiting on, but I feel like Chief fans are not in full force right now, and I'm still waiting on it to happen. But anyways, let's get to Riles in the comments. He says, if Kareem Hunt isn't hurt, I won't ever be able to trust y'all again. Well, here's the thing. We get our news from people like you do, but the thing is that we have friendships, we have connections with people that can be close to the team. So I fully trust my source. I'm not going to give it away. He didn't want me to give it away, or he just said, hey, tell everybody I told you this. So yeah, I'm not giving any sources away, but just know that it's a very trustworthy source. He will be on the IR. He will be on the injury report tomorrow. Again, he didn't tell me what it was. I don't think he knows the extent of it. It's just a heads up of like, hey, there's a little bit of a weirder reason that Clyde's getting activated rather than just Clyde's ready to come back and roll, right? So, yeah, this is what people do. I can't really guarantee it, but I would say 99.9%.
Guarantee it.
99.9%.
Phil with the freaking 2-bomb. He says, what's up, wacky knuckleballers ads?
Knuckleballers.
Lost me there, Phil.
Phil, pay attention while you're driving. Phil's out driving the big truck tonight, probably.
Appreciate the 2-bomb, though. Thanks for the support.
Brother.
Yeah, but let's go Royals. What about it, baby? They won a playoff series, bro.
Dude, now, so check this out. Game one's going to be on Saturday. Game 2 will be on Monday night at the exact same time as we're playing the Saints. So you're going to have to double TV it.
Wait, we have a Monday night game coming up?
Yes. Where have you been? This is why we're doing everything a day late.
Are we, though?
I explained it. This is why the injury report's going to come out on Thursday and not Wednesday.
Mike, I wasn't paying attention.
I don't think Steve's all into it this week.
Steve's
is as much checked out as the entire Chiefs Kingdom's been.
No, man.
It's just me by myself over here, paying attention. Everybody's like,
just a little something between me and you guys. I've had a hell of a week. It's been a wild week over here at the Williams house. So, maybe I'm not in tune like I should be, but it's okay. We'll get back. I got to focus.
Phil says he is driving, knuckleheads. Yeah,
be careful,
K-Wayne
Phil.
and Phil. We got a couple truckers in the chat. K-Wayne and Phil truck driving it out there doing the Lord's work. Sam Lofton said Clyde sucks. Who cares? He's just he don't even care.
What if Clyde came out and just bust everybody's ass this year? It just went nuts.
Theoretically, isn't he back on contract year again? Contract year's undefeated. I mean, Clyde did look pretty good last year when he played. Clyde was actually winning some people back towards the end of the year.
Contract year whooped Kadarius Toney's ass, brother.
Yeah. Look, contract year was
he couldn't even make a 53-man roster on his contract year.
Dude, how bad is that? Contract year is
a first-round draft pick.
He's Joe Glass. That's the one win for the contract. The
contract
year
Kadarius.
Is Joe Glass.
Kadarius, get it together, brother.
Kadarius.
Good
Steve,
Lord.
Don't trash talk him too bad. Brett Veach is on the phone with him right now. He's going to have him back here in a few weeks.
This is not trash talk. If you see this, Kadarius, you don't have to make a vague Instagram post about me.
Don't do it.
But because I actually like you. I think you have so much potential. But good God, get it together, my man.
Mike Yoe's out here with a gifted membership. Appreciate you, Mike. If you get that gifted membership, let Mike know.
Hell yeah, Mike.
Appreciate
Let's
it.
go,
Put
baby.
some catch-ups in the chat for our boy. Kathy says, so what exactly did Hunt hurt? Is there a reason to believe if he's going to be out a while? Again, we just know he's going to appear on the report. We don't know what the injury is. We don't know the significance of the injury. It could be maybe he's just going to be limited and he'll be ready to go on Sunday. Who knows? Or on Monday night. Who knows? But I would think that elevating Clyde pretty quickly and opening up that 21-day, which, by the way, they were allowed to open the 21-day window. That's not odd. But if you see Clyde start to get activated very quickly, and I have every reason to believe right now they're going to activate Clyde before Monday. And that's the general feeling with all the guys, a couple of the beat writers and different things like that. That's the general feeling is that Clyde's probably going to get activated. So that would speak as to maybe this Hunt injury might be a week, 2-3 week kind of thing. Let's hope not. I don't know what it is, but when he did get rolled up on there, That was an odd, awkward little play. Because I remember it, Steve, and you were like, "Oh, why'd they let P-Ron vulture that touchdown?"
I know. I was like, "Come on, man! You can't let P-Ron vulture the touchdown on
but I
Kareem
guess that's
Hunt's
why
return to glory. What are you
Right.
doing?" Yeah, I thought that was pretty crazy. So I don't know, man. I'm hoping it's just something minor. Like we know there's an injury. We know that's a thing.
Yeah, we know.
Like we're not just blowing smoke, but hopefully it's something small because we have no idea what it is. So there's that.
Yeah,
You can always hope, Michael. We got a freaking 20 bomb
yeah,
from
let's go,
Flapjack.
baby.
Let's go, Flapjack. He says, I'm starting to think we don't develop wide receivers at all. It's like, hey, boy, run to that point and clear out the area. Well, that's where's that one-on-one man beater wide receiver? We lose one wide receiver, and now it's like, oh, shit. One wide receiver shouldn't define us. I blame Veach. So
Well, technically, we've lost 2 now.
here's the thing. I think we can develop wide receivers. I just think that we have a bad habit of drafting the same guy over and over again. And some of them work, some of them don't. Rashee Rice was a little bit outside the box, and I think he was developing just fine. And then if you go back a little further back, Tyreek Hill was not expected to be what Tyreek Hill is. We made him. So obviously his speed and freak athletic ability did that.
Yeah, I mean, he had great gifts to work with.
Kind of like paved the way because I mean he could have very well went to a team where he was just a return
Right,
man.
and by we don't even mean the Chiefs. We mean me and Steve did that. We were in
I
Kansas
helped
City every
him.
day working him out.
I helped him. I said, listen, shut your
we
mouth.
were teaching him the routes and everything. I mean, like Tyreek owes his entire career to us, but
No,
other
but for
than
real,
that,
Flapjack, I think the problem is the scheme. To be quite honest about it.
well, I think that's what he kind of said. Like, just go to a point and clear out an area.
Exactly. If you watch a lot of the all 22 or anything like that, you'll notice that 2 out of 3 routes, 3 out of 4 routes sometimes, like
Our decoys.
they're just decoy crap hole routes that aren't even meant to do anything. It's almost like they were like Andy forgot to write up the rest of the play and started eating a cheeseburger or something. But
he said, you do this.
and another thing that kind of contradicts that, but I've noticed as well, is Mahomes never has any idea where he's going with the ball when he snaps it. Like rarely on like the short
few
screens.
and far between a lot of the time.
Yeah, rarely on like the short screens. I think they have that's just what it's designed to do. But I feel like for the most part, like if you go back and watch Tom Brady or Peyton Manning or any of those guys,
Rodgers,
they have an idea what they're doing before it happens. Like they're going to look at that first, and if it's not open, then they go. I feel like Mahomes never really knows. It's weird. I don't know if that's like a
do you think that's
pre-snap
just something
thing
that you
or
think though? Like, do you think in his mind he does know where he's going, but it just don't translate when you're watching it because he does feel very erratic at times.
it does. No, I just think you really don't know sometimes. Be quite honest about it. I think.
Wow. I'm going to have
it's
Patrick on the show and ask you. We're going to ask him this question.
I mean, I could be dead wrong, and he wouldn't tell me anyway. He'd be like, "Yeah,
I think he pretty much knows where he wants to go with it. But I think what you're saying is there's times that maybe he gets really like focused, hyper focused on one thing and doesn't really progress through the route quick enough. Is that what you're saying? Like he's not hitting his reads quick enough?
I don't know. Maybe it's the way the offense is designed to be where it's wide open for Mahomes, and that's fine because that's when he plays his best backyard football. Everybody knows that, and I'm okay with it. But at the same time, like, I feel like, you know, like sometimes back in the day, you'd watch Peyton Manning or watching Tom Brady or even Drew Brees. It's like they're throwing to a spot. Like they knew where they were going with the ball, and somebody's supposed to be there. And that doesn't happen with our offense. If it's Kelsey open, no. Okay, let me run around in a circle.
I feel like we've seen it a few times. Like when he took the shot to Rashee Rice deep, I felt like that was he knew where he was going.
Right.
He wanted that man-to-man matchup, and he was going there.
I agree. I don't think it's like that all the time, Mike, but I do think that sometimes it gets a little sketch.
Yeah.
And I'm not down on Mahomes whatsoever because he's the greatest quarterback
You're going to get
ever freaking
destroyed.
play. He's the
because you're
greatest of
you're
all
not a three-time
time.
Super Bowl winner.
It's whatever. Appreciate the 20 flapjack. We got a 5 bomb from our boy Sam. He says, banging my head on a microphone over these injuries like Steve after drafting Jared Wiley. Well, let's go hindsight. Let's go hindsight here.
Oh, no, let's not.
First of all, I like Jared Wiley. I do. Did I think that's what we should have been drafted at that point? Maybe not. That's why, I did a little headbang. But people were concerned about corner and TJ Tampa sitting there, Mike. And it was like people were concerned about other. There's all kinds of stuff that they could have done.
I get it, but I mean, I'm going to have to say this. Jalen Watson has balled out this year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm not saying we needed it.
He's been flat out awesome. And Steve, again, I'm going to say this over and over again because, I mean, I think we took an L on this one hard. We were so saying that Josh Williams was that next heir apparent. And Jalen Watson said, nay. I might be injured a lot, but I'm not giving up that cornerback too. And he has not. And props to Jalen Watson.
Josh Williams, if you're watching this, thanks for making us look like dumbasses.
We had
a lot of faith in you. We did.
I think the potential for him's there, but
he's going to be, yeah.
Jalen Watson's just good. He is doing what Sky Moore can't do. He got an opportunity and he balled out. Najee Johnson
that's another thing.
Got an opportunity and balled out. Sky Moore gets an opportunity after we give him a year of grace, 2 years of grace, and he comes in and he don't even have a drop. It can't even be classified a drop because it just goes right through his freaking fingers.
I'm sure all of you guys have seen the story where Brett Veach banged the table when he dropped. They're like, Brett Veach is done with this kid.
Wait, he banged it?
Like he got up and like,
yeah, he did.
Bang the table.
He was like, yes, let's get it.
No, he like smashed the table with his fist. He was pissed. He was just tired of it. Maybe he's done. Maybe he's done.
Wasn't that everybody? That was even me and you. We were like, what the hell is Sky Moore doing? You get a chance to not be a slapnut for once in your life, and you drop a 2-yard, just a gimme.
I don't know what he was doing.
I think he just wants people to hate him. I don't think
he's
Sky
like,
Moore even wants to play football. I think he's trying in so many words to just quit.
He said, I want to be a slapnut, guys. I'm a slapnut. Got a freaking 50 bomb from Raynard Francis, baby. Let's go.
Up, baby.
That's what we're talking about.
Raynard
Appreciate
Francis,
the support.
our boy.
Let's go.
Coming in tight with a 50
Y'all put some
bomb.
nukes in the chat for Raynard. Hopefully I'm saying that right.
That's
and
a nuke.
Also a
time,
freaking
baby.
new member, baby. So let's
go.
go. Welcome to the crew. That's the way to make an entrance right there.
That's a way to make an appearance right there for Raynard.
He said, "Hey, I'm new to this. I'm part of the crew now. Here's $50."
Hey, you'll be welcome to the crew, man. This is a knowledgeable group. Sometimes they'll fight in the chat, over things, like somebody will say Mahomes stinks, somebody will defend him, and then they'll go at it for weeks. But I think at the end of the day, everybody's friends. We just want to see the Chiefs win, right?
Yeah, that's all we want.
Dude, appreciate you becoming a member. Appreciate the 50 bomb, man. That goes a long, long way in helping us out. Thanks for being here tonight anyways, guys. I know it's a kind of late one. It's on a Wednesday night. That's kind of trash, but we've got 717 people in here. Hit that like button if you don't mind. If you've not become a subscriber, click that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 50K, and I think we're going to cruise to that. So maybe we could shoot for higher. Who knows, but I'm not going to. We're just going to say 50K, and we're going to get it done. And then if you want to be a member like Raynard, $4.99 starts that process for you. And, man, just come be part of the all chiefed up, the ACU crew, baby. It's a good crew.
Do it.
Steve, let's get back to football just for a second.
Can I say
before
something
we
real quick,
get off
though?
on a wild tangent. Yeah, go ahead.
Just before we actually get back to actual content. We only have 105 likes with like 719 people watching.
Oh, no, that ain't going to happen.
Come on,
it's not going to happen.
Show your boys some love.
Let's go to at least 150 to 200. Get it to 150, we'll give away a poster.
You sold it short. I was going to say 200.
Okay, give 200. Put them to work. Put them to work.
Yeah, let's do 200. I think 200 is reasonable. And we'll
Lee Dre says, I heard rumblings that Hunt may be injured.
Lee Dre?
Hey, rumble.
Rumble.
That's what we've been talking about all night. He's injured, but we don't know. We don't know what it is, though. It could be a thigh bruise. It could be a stumped toe. It could be a broken fingernail for all we know. But what we do know is that he will be on the injury report tomorrow, and they are going to go ahead and bring up Clyde, and we're all pretty much in agreement that they're going to activate him before Monday night. So I feel like with a hangnail, he may be able to play on Monday, but if you're going to activate Clyde this quickly, it might be more than that. So we're going to find out, but appreciate you being here, brother.
Yep, yeah. So, yeah, what were you going to go into? My bad. Got us a little off track, man.
I just kind of wanted to talk about what we all know and what we've seen so far through 4 games. And look, a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people said Mahomes has been off a little bit. He has. I mean, you can say that. Mahomes has been down just a little bit. He's not played the best 4 weeks of his season, of his career. Let's put it that way.
Right.
He's been down a little bit. Our run game has looked pretty solid. Now take away the Pacheco injury. Now you might have a Kareem Hunt injury, and you got a little bit of fumbleitis from Carson Steele. But again, I don't think that's going to go into the season much longer. Now, look, if he proves me wrong and if he coughs it up again, okay, I'm sticking him over in Kauffman Stadium, and he can cough it up. Maybe he can play baseball. Or
I will
don't
say
know.
this. I've watched both plays a few times, and they both just look like damn good plays from the defense.
Doesn't
honestly.
it? Because he's got the ball. He's not being loosey-goosey.
Right.
He's high and tight, and it's just he's going into a pile, and they're just making a good play on the ball.
But I think that's also, just a learning curve too, right? Because, I mean, these NFL players are better at what they do. Maybe that's something he didn't experience a whole lot in college with people trying to punch the ball out in tight spaces and stuff like that. I don't know.
Right.
But obviously he's learning from it, so we'll see how it goes going forward.
Right. So my whole entire spiel was getting to the point of, what do you think through 4 weeks? Because we'll just say we're essentially through a fourth of the season. So we're 25% somewhere. We're close. What do you think has been – yeah, it is kind of strange. What do you think's been the biggest weakness for our team through 4 games? And what do you think has been the biggest strength through 4 games? And keep in mind, which I don't have to remind you, 4-0, even through all this adversity, still one of the only 2 unbeatens in here. And who would have thought the Vikings would be the other one, by the way?
Right. So biggest weakness through 4 weeks. I hate to do this. I love this man. Like,
I know where you're going.
as much as anybody.
You're going left tackle.
I'm going quarterback.
Oh.
Our biggest weakness over 4 weeks has been Patrick Mahomes.
But you don't think it's because of the left tackle kind of carousel and the learning curve?
Mike, he's played with some really shitty left tackles in his day.
Wow, that's true.
And I have to say, man, like, I think Mahomes is the greatest football player I've stepped foot on the field. He's done things that I think nobody else can do, and I think he's still got more in the tank. I don't think he's even remotely hit his ceiling. But this, you just have to be real here. Like, I'm sorry, it's tough love. Like,
yeah.
Mahomes, and he knows it, and he said it over and over and over again. But that's the beauty of it, Mike. We're 4-0, and the biggest reason why we're the best team in football is had his worst 4 games of his career almost. It's like, once he gets it together, because he will, don't get me wrong, I have 100% faith in that. He's going to get right. This team's, the sky is the limit for this team, man.
Look,
this defense, which I was going to say, our strength is our defense.
Okay.
Because
that's what I was going to ask.
I mean, it has to be. And there's no particular part of the defense because it's not like the corners have been just 100% shut down. It's not like we've had crazy pass rush the whole time. The linebacker play has been a little sketchy here and there. But just all together as a defense, they come together and they shut teams down when they have to. They make the plays when they have to make the plays. They are legit just clutch, bro. And they've kept us in every game and won us most of the games. So I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes is the weakness, which is a good thing because we all know Patrick Mahomes and weakness don't really go together. That's just a matter of time before that's fixed. And then you got your defense, who I think is going to continue to get better throughout the year.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Now, here's the thing about Mahomes. Here's what I'll say about Mahomes. Yes, I think you have to be real with yourself. Is Mahomes the greatest quarterback to possibly ever play by the time it's all said and done? He's going to be right there. He's going to be right there. I believe if he pulls off
He already is
this
to me,
season,
bro.
it's undeniable.
Yeah.
Especially with all the injuries and stuff going on right now. But you can look back and say Patrick Mahomes does not look good. He's been very loose with the ball. He's turning it over. If
He's
you
not
think
seeing
Carson,
the field well.
Look, if you think Carson Steele's been a problem, Patrick Mahomes has been a problem triple. Okay,
right.
That's 2 turnovers,
He's
and
got
Mahomes has got what? 6
what?
interceptions, right?
6? Is it really 6 in 4 games?
I think so.
That's insane, bro. That's crazy.
But look, some of that's been communication problems. Okay, some's been communication problems. I think some of it is got to be attributed to the offensive line. I don't think he's feeling. I think he's seeing ghosts out there. And I think it's just because he's not trusting it. And I think that's leading to bad mechanics. And it's leading to a lot of the things that's causing him problems. And again, quarterback and everything is a product of just a foundation. If your foundation is is not on sturdy ground, you're going to cave. And if Mahomes, if Mahomes is not dropping back properly and his footwork's not right, and it's all because he does not feel comfortable, he's got to feel comfortable. And look, when Kingsley come in and Kingsley got drafted, and we know he's going to be good in this league, in my opinion. I think Kingsley's going to be just fine. Now, is he going to be a left tackle? I don't know. But I think he could be a dang good right tackle for sure. So worst case scenario,
I think he can do both.
Jawan Taylor moves out and you've got him at right tackle for 10 years. But when Kingsley come in, what did he say? I accept the challenge. Nobody's going to touch my quarterback.
That's what they all say.
I know. But look, you got to get it together. And Wanye, he's now played 2 full games, and I thought he's done okay. Now, they've helped him a lot more than they've helped Kingsley.
Well, also, Kingsley's only played 2 full games ever. Like, Wanye got to play some last year.
Right. And I don't think Wanye, the quality of pass rusher he's faced has been as good. Now, he did have to go up against Khalil Mack a few times the other day, but
Khalil Mack ate his lunch a few times, too.
So, I won't put it all on Mahomes, but I think it's 90% Mahomes, in my opinion. I think it's 90% Mahomes. But I'm with you. The positive out of all this is that Travis Kelce's not looked like Travis Kelce, and we've still made it work.
Did you think it was weird, though, like when Rashee Rice went out and, like, their backs were against the wall? What did Mahomes do? It was him and Kelce, man. It's
Did
like,
you feel? Yeah,
it's still there when you need it.
I felt like it kind of got in a groove there, and I feel like in the third quarter, there was maybe a time in the third quarter, I felt like Mahomes started to feel a little comfortable. He was throwing a few piss missiles.
It started to be a little pitch and catchy.
Yeah,
it was just the
usual
thing that we're used to seeing, Mike.
He was firing it up. He was getting the Henry Rowan Gardner going.
Henry Rowan Gardner.
Rosenbagger.
Mike, we got a freaking 10 bomb from Damo. Let's go, baby. He says Patrick playing like a slap nuts, and we are still 4-0. Can't get down too much. 3-peat still loading. My point exactly, Damo. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that Patrick Mahomes is not going to figure this out. Like, I don't think it's even necessarily he needs to figure it out. I think it's just sometimes you just play like crap, you know?
The haters are hating. The salt is salting. Is that a word? Salting. The salt is salting. Okay. They're turning to pillars of salt. What happens here when we go into the bye week at 5-0? And then we get news that Rashee Rice don't have that ACL tear.
Yes.
And then Mahomes turns it on. And then Kelce finds his stride. And then you get playmakers on the defense start playing a little better, like Jaden Hicks.
Yeah.
And Drew Tranquill stops playing like a slap nut.
For real, though. Like, I mean, it really could. That's
maybe
best
you
case
get
scenario,
Hollywood
right?
back a little sooner than you think.
Mike,
this whole team could just turn it around.
Might want to put the Blue Chew to the side just a little bit, though.
Hort.
Mike, we also got a 5 bomb from Minotaur. He says, I definitely am eating the L for roasting Jalen Watson preseason. I mean, yeah, Jalen didn't look great in the preseason. I knew he'd be okay, though. I never worried about Jalen Watson, but I really did think that Josh Williams had all the intangibles and could take that job. Now, here's the thing. I actually thought about this earlier when we were talking about it. I didn't get a chance to say it before we moved on, but do you think, like, Josh Williams, when he's played, he's had his moments where it's like, oh, Josh Williams sucks.
His biggest problem this year has been missed tackles.
Right, but for overall, like, coverage and stuff, he's been pretty good. Like, even in the playoffs last year, he's one of the top-rated corners in all the playoffs.
Yeah.
Do you think that just Jalen Watson's been so damn good, that's just how it is? Like, he never really got a shot.
100%. Jalen Watson took
I honestly think, like, if Jalen Watson was out of the picture and you had to start Josh Williams, I think he would be fine. It might take a little while, but
he's slipped back further. I think Najee Johnson's now past him because he's done so bad.
Yeah, I have something to say about that, though.
Oh, my Lord. Here we go.
Najee, what are you doing out there sometimes, brother? I don't know. Like, I feel like he's the most fundamentally sound corner we have. And he's just, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I love him in special teams. But I'm not the biggest fan of him out there as a corner. Just not.
Can I give you a little something about Josh?
Yeah.
So in week 1, Joshua Williams against the Baltimore Ravens, he had 29 snaps in coverage, and he did pretty well. He only allowed 1 reception for 17 yards, and we analyzed that play, and he did not allow that reception. That was a dink and dunk play to a running back, Justice Hill,
Yeah,
and he picked up
yeah.
17 yards, and all he did, he was the closest guy to him and just had to push him out of bounds. But against Cincinnati, he only played 4 coverage snaps. So he got demoted pretty quickly for the Cincinnati game for some reason. And in those 4 coverage snaps, he allowed 2 receptions on 2 targets. Again, not a lot of yardage there, only 13 yards. And he gave up a touchdown on that. And again, that was to Yoshavash when freaking Joe Burrow had 5.5 seconds in the pocket, right?
Right.
So I still don't think he was really that big of a deal. But he did get lit up. PFF gave him a coverage, gave him a 30. And then he didn't even get a coverage snap in week 3 and week 4. So
Right.
they have completely shifted off him and went to Najee Johnson. So Najee Johnson in week 3, he didn't play in week 1. In week 3, he got 19 coverage snaps, and he only allowed 1 reception off 2 targets for -2 yards. So pretty solid there, I'll say. And then last week against the Chargers, he had 14 coverage snaps, and he was targeted only 1 time, and he did not give up a reception. So he's only been targeted 5 times this year, 2 catches for 2 yards. Najee Johnson has looked pretty good. And again, that's not saying Josh Williams looks horrible, but Jalen Watson and Najee Johnson stepped up to the plate. That's what you wanted Sky to do, and then Sky says this and goes to his hands.
Hey, F Sky Moore,
If you
okay?
want to play, you'll play. This is what
Shut
this
up.
proves. If you want to play, you play.
Damo, been a member for 5 months, says he agrees. That's back when I was preaching, like
About
Richie
Mahomes, I
said.
think.
Yeah, about the weakness and the strengths. Appreciate you guys being members, by the way. And Mike, freaking Raynard with another freaking 50 bomb, bro.
What?
Let's go, my man.
What's going on?
Blowing it up out there. You
Brandon
guys
needs
put
the purge, baby.
Hey, y'all show him some love in the chat, by the way. He says, why are we not considering Justin Ross? Valid question. Also, I believe
Perfectly
Patrick
valid.
will face challenges against the novel defense implemented by the Chargers. Also, I'm a Chief fan from the Virgin Islands. Let's freaking go, Raynard. That's
Let's go.
awesome. But yeah, totally valid question. Justin Ross, it's like they've never really gave him his big shot. Like he did make the roster last year, and we saw him on the field pretty early on in the season last year, but nothing just ever went his way per se. And then it kind of faded. And then he didn't make the 53-man roster this year. Now we have all these problems going on. They still haven't called him up. I think Justin Ross is good enough to be at least a WR3 in this league. Like, it makes no sense to me. We know the skills are there. I just don't know why they can't get him involved in this offense. But I'm right there with you. I think they should bring him up, give him a shot, especially if Rashee Rice is going to miss any significant time. I think you bring him up and you let him do his thing, man, and tell Patrick, throw some balls up to him. Let him see what he can do. Because you're watching the preseason, Carson Wentz did that, and Justin Ross was good.
Yeah, he looked good in practice. He always looks good in camp. This is the thing. I like the question with Justin Ross. A lot of people's wanting to see that. I think him and Nico Remigio right now could offer more than what they're getting out of Sky Moore, obviously. So at this point, I don't know why Sky Moore is not on the practice squad and we haven't moved one of these guys up. Here's what I'll say, though. Steve, we've said this over and over again. He's not as fast as Rashee Rice. He's not as shifty as Rashee Rice, and he may not have as good as hands as Rashee Rice. But the way you beat that is you get them matched up on linebackers, you get them matched up on safeties, you get them matched up on nickel corners. And how do you do that? You put them in the slot. Where has Rashee Rice been eating? The slot. I think Justin Ross could be a big slot receiver in the vein of a Marquez Colston, in the vein of a Michael Thomas. And I think he could do what Rashee Rice could do, as in being able to eat a defense up. Now, will he give you all that yak?
He's not going to get the
yardage?
yak, but
Maybe not. But I think he needs a shot at playing that big slot receiver, and let's see what he can do. I think it would be fun.
I think so too, man. I think it's worth a shot, especially
It's worth a shot, man.
Like I said, if Rashee Rice is going to miss any significant time, just bring up Justin Ross and let's see what the boy can do. Let the boy watch.
Let the boy watch. And look, let's bring up Nico too. I think we need a little Nico time. I think Nico could find a little role in this offense if they give him a chance.
Yeah.
I really do.
Hey, shout out Raynard, though. Thanks for the support, my man. That's super generous of you, and it goes a long way for us here on the channel. Thanks for supporting.
Appreciate that.
So I truly appreciate that. You guys make sure to show him some love in the chat. But yeah, man, I think overall where we're sitting at right now, obviously we have a Monday night game this week, right? Monday night against the Saints. But we're sitting at 4-0 going into week 5. We have some injury concerns, but we have one game. We just can't let that be a trap game before the bye week. If we can focus on the Saints, take care of business, we go into the bye week 5-0, which a lot of people thought was freaking impossible with the way this schedule started out. Like, that's all people talked about all offseason was like, oh no, we could be 0-2, we could be 0-3, 0-4. Like, no, we're literally, we just need to take care of business in New Orleans, and we're going into bye week at 5-0, and we're only getting healthier at that point. And like, I'm gonna knock on wood, but I mean, come on, bro. Like, I feel like the tide's got to turn. Like, the tide's got to turn. But I mean, we're coming off the bye week. We're still playing good teams. The 49ers. We're not playing a good team in the second game back. It's the Raiders. They suck. But the Buccaneers, and then of course you get into the divisional games. But I think we got the Bills not too long after that. Like, these guys got to get it in gear. I just think that Patrick is he's gonna get himself where he needs to be. And by all means, obviously the offense runs through Patrick Mahomes. So if Patrick's in a better spot, he's feeling more comfortable, he's more himself, I think the offense itself is going to start clicking more.
Do you think the Chiefs switch identities a little bit here over the next few weeks? Let's say Rashee Rice. Doesn't matter if Rashee Rice misses 2 months or the entire year. Do you think until Hollywood Brown comes back, do you think they have to pivot a little bit and become more of like a run offense, like a grinded out? I mean, we've got a big, efficient offensive line in the run game. Obviously, we got the best big three in the middle. Now, look, Joe Tooney's not played the best this year. I think his injuries still bother him a little bit.
Here's my thing with it, Mike. I don't think they need to. Like, what I saw from one play on Sunday against the Chargers was that we have a guy on the field that can blow the absolute top off of any defense. He can track a ball like nobody's business, and he will catch it. Whether there's a guy in his face pass interfering or whatever it is, he's going to get the ball. Why are we not taking advantage of that? I think they need to do quite the opposite. I think they need to open that damn offense up and just start slinging. If you're going to throw 6 picks in 4 games, at least give me a damn reason to do it. Like, throw the ball out there. Let's get this thing moving, open it up a little bit, and in turn, that makes Carson Steele, Kareem Hunt, and everybody else's job much easier. Because if you go, like, I'm all for establishing a run game and all that stuff, but when you get one-dimensional, you're in trouble. You're just going to suck. And you're going to have that slow, stagnant offense that can't get first downs, can't move the ball. I think we need to do the exact opposite. I think they need to open it up. They need to be like, Patrick, effing throw the ball to Xavier Worthy. I don't give a crap if he's
you're making Pat a little worse than he is, because he has 6 passing touchdowns, only 5 picks. So he is one ahead.
Right. But I'm just saying, if you're going to get out there and you're going to throw more than 1 pick a game, why are we not taking shots? It can't get any worse. It's just like, open it up and then play pitch and catch to Kelsey. I think that's the thing. Like, what kind of paved the path for the deep shot? It was literally Mahomes getting back in a groove, just playing pitch and catch with Kelsey, getting a little bit of confidence, and then he goes out and pops off a freaking 60-yard bomb down the field. So you just got to get it in a groove, baby. I don't think we have to re-identify ourselves and just become a running team.
Right. One of the things that we talked about here earlier, so far through 4 games, Patrick Mahomes is facing the most pressure he's ever felt. He's getting pressure on 16.7% of his dropbacks. The closest he's ever got to that was in 2021. It was 12%. So he's being pressured 5% more.
And, it's hard to blame the offensive line and not just that the defenses are doing better.
I think they're being a little more. I think the defenses are being a little more disciplined pass rushing.
They're disguising things. They're stunning. Yeah. They're doing all kinds of different stuff because, I mean, you set our left tackle aside because that's a work in progress. But you look at the other 4 guys, and that's the most 4 solid in those positions in the league side by side. Like, our interior offensive line has been the best interior offensive line in football for 2-3 years running. And then Jawan Taylor's not a pushover. Yeah, he's going to false start, and he might hold from time to time. But for the most part, go look at his numbers. Jawan Taylor's a good right tackle. Otherwise, Brett Veach wouldn't have paid him way too much money. It's like we have the guys there. I don't know if it's just the defenses like figuring things out a little bit, or like you said, just being more disciplined in the pass rush.
Yeah.
But once again, it's kind of weird to think that he's been. I feel like I've seen Mahomes scrambling around more in the past. Like to me, it seems more like he just don't want to be in the pocket sometimes and makes his own pressure. But
a little bit. He does have 7 sacks so far this year. He's on pace to have 29.7. So you'll go ahead and round that up to 30. That is the highest mark of his career if it holds up. And the closest one to it was 28 sacks back in 2021 when we lost to the Bucks in the Super Bowl. So there is a problem
What
there.
a shit show that was.
His time in the pocket. Last year, he had 3.03 seconds in the pocket on average before he had to throw the ball. He is at his lowest in his career this year at 2.68. The closest one to it was 2.76 back in 2019. So he really isn't getting a lot of time in the pocket. I think that could – I'm not going to say it's everything, but come on. If Tom Brady – don't have time in the pocket, if Aaron Rodgers don't, especially if you're that kind of gunslinger, right? If you're that guy. I mean, Tom Brady kind of got away with it because, like you said, he knew where he was going to go before it was. He's peppering these 3-yard slant routes over and over again. That's all he does.
So
if you're trying to push the ball down the field and be more aggressive, you got to give him more time in the pocket. You can't be the highest sack total, the highest pressures, and the least amount of time.
Well, here's the thing. Like, we talk about what we'd like to see. I'll tell you what I think we're going to see more of in the absence of Rashee Rice and some of the other guys. 12 personnel. You're going to see more Noah Gray out there.
I would like to see 13 personnel and let Wiley get out there.
I'm okay with that, too. You might even see some of that. But I fully expect it's like the furthest thing away from what people would go to. But I think they're going to try to get Noah Gray more involved. And I think we started seeing that a little bit last week. So I wouldn't be surprised to see more of that going forward until some of these injuries play out.
I think Noah Gray takes a lot of heat off of Mahomes and a lot of heat off the receivers. I think Justin Watson. Okay, look, so for the time being, I think Juju's going to get more of your slot snaps. I really do. I think Juju's probably going to try to work that middle of the field.
They got to crank it up a little bit.
I think Watson, though, Watson is the one, in my opinion, that if he could get 4 to 5 catches per game out of Justin Watson, and maybe not even 4 to 5 great ones. Let's say 1 or 2 chain movers from Justin Watson per game. And I think the offense automatically gets a little bit better. So I think we just got to have more consistency there.
Right. Well, you think the thing with Juju, don't you think like maybe they need to work on getting him involved? Like I feel like he's just kind of not been a non-factor. I don't know if
he may be getting his legs underneath him still. No pun intended.
Yeah,
with
but
the
I mean,
knee, but
I don't know. I feel like if they, make it a point to go to him a few times, get him involved. I think the way this offense works is if they focus on something, they can make it happen and start opening up other things. It just seems like it's been a little sporadic. There's just not been anything like
Dylan's
that.
asking, where the hell's Juju been? I just feel like maybe he's getting in stride. Again, I think Juju was more of a backup per se, as in a backup plan for a potential Rashee Rice problem, not for Hollywood, in my opinion. I don't think Hollywood. I think that Xavier Worthy is going to step into that role, in my opinion. I think that's the role that he'll play, is the Hollywood Brown role until he has to. They've not really put Sky Moore in. Thank the Lord, he's not looked good. They really haven't let Mecole Hardman do a lot there either. So they're staying true to their pecking order, like we all knew it was going to be, right? Which is good. They're still not rotating. Order? Yeah, not the pecker, but the pecking.
Chris Jones is in the front, right?
It's just one of those things, though. I think they've done a decent job of sticking with who they think's the best. I think they'll be fine. I'm with you. I think you can go to more tight end sets, use Wiley more, use Noah Gray more. Maybe we run the ball a little bit more, and either way, the offensive line's just got to hold up a little better, and Patrick's got to make better decisions. And, I mean, do the Saints scare you? I mean, we'll get in way more Saints talk as the week goes on, but do they really scare you? Because, I mean, for the first few weeks, they were putting up some numbers, but then Derek Carr became Derek Carr pretty quick.
Yeah, no, they don't. They don't scare me. And we know Derek Carr. We know if we hit him a few times, it's over. We've seen it years and years now. Okay,
You think they'll call it bogus
getting
Chris
his head
Jones roughing penalty?
I don't care if they take one or two roughing the passer penalties. Hit them afterwards, because
Yeah,
all
I
you
think
got to
you
do is
should.
get in Derek Carr's head, and it's over, bro. But one thing I would like to see them utilize, like, it's funny to say this because I think they have tried to do it somewhat, but look for ways to use Xavier Worthy's speed, which they've done it with the jet sweeps. They've used them on deep routes. I saw it one time. What I'd like to see them do more, and I think they did it last week against the Chargers, but use that boy in some drag routes and some stuff where he can go east to west and just absolutely roast a guy and then get yak after he catches the ball. Like at that point, it becomes just more pitch and catch, and then use your legs to get the yardage after the fact. Right. And that's easy stuff for Mahomes. It's
they
easy
used to
stuff.
Use Tyreek like that a lot. There would be plenty of times he'd cross the field and just take it the distance.
Right. Mike got a 2-bomb from a boy TGZ. He says, "Dear Chiefs, please get Hill to save my fantasy league." Hey, well, it could be worse. You could have felt obligated to take Christian McCaffrey with your first pick. Dang, bro.
Seems like every year in fantasy, first pick's a disaster.
Well, Christian McCaffrey, that's like playing with fire, right? Everyone knew that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see that being a thing.
Me either.
It'd be cool, but
it is 1.7. You would pay 1.7 to get him. What would you have to give up to get Tyreek Hill? Is Miami ready to go into rebuild mode already after putting all that money and all those draft picks into players? Are they ready to go straight into rebuild mode again? There's a lot of questions there. I don't think they asked Tyreek today where he wanted to be, and he said Miami. Now, obviously, he's not going to come out and beg for a trade. He's not Devontae Adams, but
right.
I don't think there's nothing there. I don't think they get rid of Tyreek Hill. I don't think they want to pay him. They've paid him almost $25 million this year already. They still owe him another 1.4. You would have to take a $28 million dead cap hit next year, and they can't get out of that. So, I mean, are they really going to do that? I don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't think the Chiefs are going to make any moves. In my opinion, I think the Chiefs are going to stand still and not do jack crap. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's the most likely scenario.
Brett could surprise us. He really could.
Oh, Brett. You got to watch him, though. I think he's always keeping his eye on things. So
I think the guy that we actually said that we would keep an eye on the most, in my opinion, I think fills the Rashee Rice role very well. Now, how big could he become a factor? I don't know. I don't know how fast he could become a factor. I don't know if he ever could either. I don't want to say he's Sky Moore, but he's just never really lived up to the potential either.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Well, I'm going to take a second to tell you guys to hit the like button for us. We said if we got to 200, we give away some posters. We're only at 152, so we got to do better. Let's get to that 200. And also just wanted to take a quick second and shout out our sponsor as well. So you all shout out BetUS for sponsoring this live stream tonight. Just head over to betus.com and check out what they got going on. Right now, if you use the code YouTube150, you get a 150% deposit bonus match on your first deposit. And then on your next 2 deposits, you get a 125% deposit bonus match. These are up to $2,000, so take advantage of all the free plays you can make with these deposit matches. The site is easy to use, and there's plenty of props on there too. So go to betus.com and use the promo code YouTube150, YouTube150, to let them know All Chiefed Up sent you. Go do it.
Yeah. Cincinnati Bengals Sacramento Kings fan says, would y'all like to trade for T. Higgins? We don't mind giving y'all T. Higgins since y'all cheap-ass owner doesn't want to pay him. He's way too good. I don't know if the Chiefs...
They wouldn't use him. Is he not just Justin Ross in a sense?
Look, I wouldn't be opposed, but I don't think the Bengals would deal with the Chiefs. I mean, that's the only reason they hit him with a franchise tag anyway, wasn't it? So, I mean, they're not going to trade him to us now. And if they did, they're going to ask for way too much. We're not giving up a lot of draft picks, and I'm going to tell you why, and it's pretty obvious. We can't. With Patrick Mahomes' contract and the amount of money he takes, like, it's a very good team-friendly contract, but he pulls a big chunk of our salary cap every year. We have to hit draft picks, and we have to build draft picks. Now, the Chiefs have done a very good job of hitting on a lot of draft picks over the past few years on the defense. So could they get away with maybe losing a first and a third? Possibly, but do you want to give up a first and a third for T. Higgins, Steve?
No.
Yeah, I don't. I'd give up a first and a third for Tyreek Hill.
I just don't think that T. Higgins is somebody that we would even use, and let's be honest about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
would you give up a first and a third for Devontae Adams? I don't even think I'm doing that. He's 31.
Now.
I think first and a third, the only one I'd be interested in is Tyreek Hill for that price, in my opinion. I think Tyreek Hill's got 4 or 5 good years left. I think we've weathered the storm with the draft picks enough that if you pulled a first and a third, I don't think it would seriously kill us next year. I think your defense is good enough that we survive. Automatically, now you would have Xavier Worthy and Tyreek Hill in the same offense, and Rashee Rice gets back healthy. What could that be? Like, that would be insane.
I wouldn't stub my nose at Devontae Adams either, though. I think there's a lot of talent.
But isn't Devontae Adams kind of the big, tall wide receiver throw to a spot that Patrick Mahomes doesn't use?
I think
we don't use. Right.
Isn't Rashee Rice in a nutshell just kind of Devontae Adams?
I mean, I'm not going to dog Devontae Adams, but a first and a third is rich.
I wouldn't want to give that away for just about anybody. So, I mean, Hill, yeah, sure, if we didn't have to pay him much, but that's not going to happen. We know it's not going to happen. Don't get your hopes up. Don't eat all your blue chews. Raynard with another freaking 20 bomb says, do you think Patrick was a little shook facing the Chargers, D? Chargers ran delayed stunts on the right side all game, 100%. I was curious why they didn't make adjustments quicker. I think any time that defenses are good at disguising things, it messes with Patrick. And that goes for a lot of quarterbacks. It's not just him, but I mean, why do you think Spags is so good? I mean, he's one of the best at disguising stuff, confusing quarterbacks. He's like Lamar Jackson absolutely hates seeing a Steve Spagnuolo defense. Like, they're just, but I think that these guys come up with these things, and you're right that they were running those delayed stunts all game, and Patrick couldn't seem to figure that out. He kept running straight into it.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he was taking the bait every time, and then the defensive tackle would stunt out, keep him going down the line of scrimmage, not getting upfield. He actually got upfield a few times and tore it up, but for the most part, they were being very, very disciplined in their pass rush. They were crashing over the top of Jawan Taylor. Patrick Mahomes was seeing that as an excuse to escape out to the right, and then he was getting ran down by the defensive tackle. So not a very good job, and they actually got to him off of a corner blitz. And to be honest, going back and watching it, the corner blitz was not disguised very well. I don't think Patrick Mahomes even seen it. I don't think he was looking for it. The dude actually had his body angled towards Mahomes, and he was watching Mahomes the entire time. Wasn't even looking at the receiver. So Mahomes probably should have picked up on that one. Okay, he didn't. It's not very common. They send corners for blitzes, but
right.
I mean, they did disguise stuff pretty well, in my opinion, but as you pointed out, they kind of ran the same stuff over and over and over, and Patrick just kept falling for it over and over and over.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think Patrick's just kind of been a little off, but he'll be all right. It'll be all right. Appreciate the 20, Raynard. Thanks for all your support tonight. You're the man. Y'all show him some love in the chat. But yeah, I think, like I said earlier, it's just a matter of time before Patrick gets his feet under him and gets his head on straight. And when that happens, especially if some of these injuries go our way, like the Chiefs are in a good spot.
Yeah. I agree. I think the Chiefs are going to be fine. I do. I think that this week, again, tomorrow with the Kareem Hunt thing, let's finger cross that it's not nothing crazy. And then maybe we get some good news on Rashee Rice, the ACL thing. Hopefully Pacheco gets back healthy and good. I think the Pacheco thing, I read something today, and we've not talked about the Pacheco thing in a little while. Where did I find this today? I want to get the right thing. Oh, here it is. Jesse Morse, MD, on X, wrote, I'm getting mixed information in regards to Pacheco's injury surgery. Initially, it sounded like a clean lower leg injury with an isolated fibula fracture. Then there were reports of ligament damage. So the question becomes which ligaments and how much damage. Did those also need to be surgically repaired? Andy has made a couple comments alluding to the severity of the injury and whether or not he'd be able to return this season. If this was an isolated fibular fracture, he'd be back around week 10. So why would Reed say this? Maybe he's trying to tell us it's more complicated without actually saying it. Ideally, Pacheco returns around week 10, but we haven't heard an update in a couple weeks. So they're saying that maybe there was more to that than they think. Let's hope not. Let's hope that him and Rashee Rice, look, I want to say we need to get lucky. It's hard to say we need to get lucky because we've not been lucky with injuries so far. It's just not. But let's hope maybe at some point they all get back healthy and we do get a little lucky with that because we need it for the playoff run, in my opinion. I think Hollywood Brown coming back, though, is going to be a little boost. I don't know when he's probably coming back, to be honest.
Sorry, I can't focus. I got a poltergeist in my house. What's happening right now? Just watch for a minute. I thought my light was blinking, but it's not. I don't know what's happening. Here, hold on.
The all chiefed up light? It was blinking earlier.
Wait for it. Oop. You see that? Sam saw it, and then I saw it, and I was like, what is happening right now? Maybe the camera's just being a little strange. Or there's a poltergeist in my house. I don't know.
Who's the guy? Remember he used to say, it's a poltergeist.
I don't know.
I don't remember who it was. But
well,
it
I'm
was
just going to shut this light off.
Yeah, maybe the
phone's
phone's
still doing it, bro. Dun, dun, dun. Who knows? Anyway, we'll keep trucking along because that's what we do. Yeah, so are you feeling good about the matchup on Monday night, or do you think it could kind of be a trap game? Like, because you got a lot of injury concerns, you got a lot of other things going on, you got bye week coming up next week.
Right.
It's just the Saints, it's just an NFC team. It don't really have implications like a divisional game or an AFC game. What do you think, man? You think they go in, they play with intensity, they take care of business? Or do you think this could be one where they come out and they look a little blah and the Saints still won from them?
Well, it's at Arrowhead. So, honestly, I think they should just go in and take care of business. Now, I will say this. You could be right there. There could be a lot of injury. There could be a lot of maybe Andy and them try to implement something a little different. Maybe they try to do more of I don't know. I just think at the end of the day, it's football. We're well coached. We're prepared. And the Saints just, to me, this team that they don't have proven guys on the team that's won a lot in their careers. Their coach isn't as proven as Andy Reid. They're coming into a hostile environment on a primetime Monday night game. To me, I think the Chiefs should win this one. Now, it's not going to be a blowout. We're not having that, but it's going to be a tough battle. But I think in the end, the Chiefs maybe hang on and get that 5-0 and go into bye week and maybe get a little healthy.
Yeah, I think so too. A lot of people coming in late in the chat and stuff like that, and they're kind of wondering what's going on with the injuries or maybe what's going on with Kareem Hunt. Just to reiterate, we have no specifics on what is going on with Kareem Hunt, but we do know there is some type of injury. He will show up on the injury report tomorrow. We're not sure to what extent that is, whether it's something minor, just something nagging. He might play this weekend. He could be out for multiple weeks. We don't know. But we do know there's something there, and that's also why Clyde was rushed back in, and they opened up his practice window, and he could be activated as soon as Monday. So I think you just got to hope for the best on this one. But we'll find out more about it tomorrow. But for now, just know that it's coming, and that way don't blindside you tomorrow when they bring out whatever it is they need to say.
Yeah, they'll get the media appearance tomorrow. I'm not for sure who's going to speak. You'll have a couple players, maybe a coach or two. The first injury report will come out tomorrow. Everything's pushed back a day. This usually all happens on, Wednesdays, but it's Thursday because we play on Monday night this week. So, yeah, it's just a little bit delayed this week, but I don't know. I'm kind of excited. I like Monday night games. I like playing against teams we don't routinely play against a lot, and I feel like we never hardly play the Saints. I think that's a fun matchup that we don't get to see a lot. I think if I had to cheer for an NFC team, I think the Saints are probably at the top of my board.
I hate all teams equally that are not the Chiefs.
Well, I do too, but I'm just saying, like, for some reason, I kind of like the Saints uniforms. I like that black and gold they pull out sometimes. It's pretty sick,
Yeah.
I've been to New Orleans. I like, I've been on Bourbon Street. It's fun time. Okay. There's more insufferable teams out there than the Saints, I think.
Yeah, well, we don't want to make them one of those insufferable teams, so let's go out and whoop their
Yeah.
ass on Monday, and we don't have to worry about it. You can continue to think that you like the Saints. It's okay.
I don't like the Saints. I'm just saying they're not one of the worst.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. They have good food in New Orleans, There's that.
Dude, I had some lobster mac and cheese when I was there. Pretty good. I tried a hurricane, too. I don't drink at all, hardly, ever in my life. But I did try a hurricane. When in Rome, right? You had to try it. Everybody's like, try a hurricane. It was too much.
What even is it?
It was
Some kind of
wild,
mixed drink,
dude.
I guess?
Yeah, it was wild. I took a few sips. It wasn't nothing special.
Wasn't your
but,
thing? Like, here.
I mean, I don't drink.
It's kind of like when you go to if you go to Kentucky Derby, you have to try the mint julep.
Yeah, and I've heard those are disgusting.
Yeah. But either way, what do you think about that Monday night matchup? As far as a lot of people think it's shut down Alvin Kamara, beat the Saints. Do you think that's a thing?
Probably. Yeah, pretty much. I think you got to stop Chris Olave, which obviously we've got the corners to do
Rashee
that.
Shaheed.
I think you got to just get to Derek Carr. I think that's your big thing. And I think the offense just has to execute whatever Andy wants to do. If he wants to run the ball 30 times, if you want to pass the ball 45 times, I don't know what you want to do. I don't know who's going to be your lead back. I don't know what their wide receivers are going to trot out or doing. I don't know if they're going to rely on tight ends. I don't know what they're doing. But whatever and whoever's asked to go out there, if they'll just execute, I think they're fine. I don't think they have to do anything special or fancy. Just go out there and play football.
Right. Yeah. So we're at 174 likes. Get to 200. If you have not hit the like button yet, take 2 seconds. Go hit that like button. Get us to 200. That way we can give away a signed poster to someone in the chat that wants one. So let's do that. And we'll give that away. And also get your questions in and everything. We're going to be here for just a little bit longer tonight. So if you have any questions you want to get in, make sure to put those in the chat. And, of course, later this week, we'll probably still do the tailgate on Saturday, I would say. So we'll be doing the tailgate for the Saints game probably Saturday night, and we'll get dive way deeper into the matchup and what we think about it and predictions and things like that. But for now, it's still early in the week, and I haven't really dug into it just a whole lot yet. I haven't even got a defense for my fantasy team this week, so it's been a lot going on. And I took the Chiefs last week too. I did this thing where I'm just going to match up my defense through, pick a different one every week instead of just rostering one. And every week I pick the wrong thing. So this week I think I might take the New Orleans Saints defense just to jinx them, and the Chiefs can win a comfortable game.
It's probably a good idea.
You think I should?
Maybe. Pepe says, who gets more carries, Samaje or Gator? Well, let's call him Gator Man. Now. He's a man.
It's looking like old Crocky J's probably going to get more. They did
Samaje,
try to get P. Ryan more involved this last week. I'll say that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be about equal. I think they'll both get somewhere around 5 to 6 carries. If Andy runs the ball 20 to 25 times, it depends on it. Again, if Kareem Hunt's not going to play, I do not think Clyde's going to come back and take 10 or 15 carries. I don't see that happening at all. So, yeah, I do think it will go to Carson Steele. I think Carson Steele will be the lead back over P. Ryan. And I could be completely wrong. Maybe not.
I think so, too. But
I think maybe they'll just give them both a few early touches and go with the hot hand.
Now, Andy has been giving up on players a lot faster lately than usual, i.e. Kingsley Suamataia. So, yeah, I never know. Maybe that second fumble was enough to be like, oh, well, let's just go with Samaje. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Also, if Clyde does come back and they do activate him, how much are they going to use him? How are they going to use him? We don't really know. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I still think that CEH could be a decent third down back, go in and catch the ball.
Which is what P. Ryan does.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. Y'all put hashtag poster in the chat. Hashtag poster. That way, when we get to 200 likes, which is only 13 away, we'll go ahead and give away 2 posters. Since I got greedy and said you had to have 200 instead of 150, I'll give back. I'll give you 2 posters instead of 1. So we want to give away a couple posters. So if you haven't hit the like button yet, do that. Let's get it over 200, and we'll get that going. Let's see. Richie's on the same page as me. CEH is a good pass catcher. I think they've never utilized them the way that they could. And I think maybe that's an aspect that they could still explore a little bit. If they're going to keep them around, why not?
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know if he'll get a ton of work though. I wouldn't think you'd get a ton of work, right? Because I mean, they keep him on the roster because they trust him.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's why he's here. They trust him to be able to run.
Well,
the
I mean,
offense and everything.
it's times like these, right? Like where if
Right.
Kareem Hunt goes out and you only got
But being
Carson
your first
Steele and
week
somebody
back,
P. Ryan.
I don't know if he'll get like the bell cow amount. So I would think maybe
Right,
they're
but-
all probably looking at 5 to 6 carries apiece.
I agree.
And if anybody gets more, it's because they got hot hands.
Yeah.
They'll go with whoever.
Yeah, Pepe says, why hasn't tight end Wiley received more targets? That's a good question. I thought they would use them more, especially in red zone packages, but we haven't really seen him that much this year. Very sparingly. It could just be one of those things where he's earning his stripes. You know, Noah Gray didn't get a lot of targets early on. I mean, Kelsey's the number 1 guy when it comes to the tight end room. So, I mean, maybe it's just a slow progression. I think they'll get there, though, because from everything I've seen, Wiley, I mean, he's a big body. He runs good routes. He catches everything thrown to him. So I think it's only a matter of time before they start digging into that well.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think if the Chiefs were to bring back somebody from a free agent standpoint, do you think they would go with somebody that's been here before, like a Richie James, over somebody like a Michael Thomas?
I wasn't freaking down.
Somebody asked me that today, and I was like,
it
it wouldn't be that odd if they didn't announce Richie James.
I know. I don't see the point, though. Like,
It's
why
weird.
announce Richie James or somebody like that when you can call up Nico Remigio or you can
Yeah,
call
that's my
up
thing.
Justin Ross? Like, why are we doing it? It makes no sense. So, like, even like going to get Kadarius Toney or whatever, like people thought that's a thing, and it seems like something that they would do. Like, oh, well, we'll go grab him back, use him for a few weeks. I just don't see the point when you got guys on the practice squad that can play, and they haven't
Right.
got much. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But Mike, we hit the 200. We have hit the 200 likes, so we're gonna give away 2 posters. How do you want to do it? Do you want to do a quick wheel of death and the last 2 standing both get posters, or do you just want to let Nightbot do his thing and pick 2 and roll with it?
We can do a wheel. That's fine.
What about you guys? Y'all want to do a wheel of death? A little wheel of death action? Y'all let us know in the chat.
I think they'll want it.
Is that what we want?
Oh, by the way, our defense, somebody had asked earlier what was impressive about the defense that I thought, and I actually thought this year our run defense has looked a lot better.
Our run defense has been excellent this year, yeah.
Yeah, a little stat I threw up on X was J.K. Dobbins was ranked 3rd in the NFL in rushing yards. He had 310 yards through 3 weeks. The Chiefs actually held J.K. Dobbins to 32 yards on 14 attempts, 2.3 yards per carry. And for the entire season, we've held opposing running backs, this includes Derrick frickin' Henry, to 3.1 yards per attempt and only 228 yards on 73 carries. So I feel like our run defense has been pretty good. It's about as good as you can ask for.
Yeah, I mean, I've been pretty impressed with the defense as a whole, to be quite honest. Like, yeah, they've had their moments where it's like, damn, they can't stop anything when, But, I mean, overall, they've stepped up when they had to step up. They've been pretty clutch, so you can't ask for much more from them this early in the season. We always know that Spags defenses, they do their thing. They take a while to get to where they need to be, and I feel like this defense is ahead of the game because usually they're a little bit worse at this point in the season.
Yeah, for sure. By the way, let's get ready to spin this wheel. Well, we're going to pick the names. Nightbite's going to pick the names. So hashtag poster really quick. I'm going to give you one more minute. 11:15, we'll start it up. It's 10:15 your guys' time, so don't get confused. But yes, if you haven't today watched our video we did, we worked on a nice video and released it today. It said that a lot of Chiefs fans wasn't interested in it. I find that hard to believe. I think YouTube was being a slap nuts and they wasn't telling people about it. But here's the thing. We put up 10. We've got 10 potential trade targets the Chiefs could look at. Of course, Tyreek's on the list. Devontae Adams is on the list. But there towards the end, we dug into a few names that I thought that nobody's been talking about that are potential fun. And if you've watched it, you already know. But there's a few names on there that I kind of liked. But get over there and watch that. Let us know and leave a comment on that video too of who you like if the Chiefs were to go to the trade market to find themselves a replacement wide receiver. But yeah, do us a favor, get over there, watch that video, give the like, give it a share, do all that good stuff, comment on that bad boy, help that get out. But yeah, Steve, let's go ahead and get some of these names on the wheel, baby. Let's go. So hashtag poster, you can keep putting it in over and over and over again. It'll keep putting you in. So let's do it. We'll just roll for 10 names. Let's do it. We'll do 10 names, and the top two can win the poster. So Angela,
last two standing.
Angela Leak, first one on the board. Let's go. We got Brian Parrott. The board has been nice to Brian Parrott. Not the board, but Nightbot's been nice to Brian Parrott. I'll give him
Nightbot's nice to him, and then the Will of Death always takes it away.
Right. Chris Cheeks on the board.
I feel like
let's go.
Brian Parrott and the Will of Death are arch nemesis.
Yep. Bartman, KC. I like the name. Let's roll it. Brenda Pike on the board.
Let's go, Brenda.
Let's go. How many is that? It's 5 already. We got 5 more. Keep putting in hashtag poster, ladies and gents. Macaberry. I seen Maca earlier. Said this was one of the first lives they've actually caught.
Oh, Macaberry. Is it Macaberry? Aren't you from the aren't you down under over there?
Down under.
Is that right? Or am I thinking wrong?
I don't think Macaberry's from...
He's from Australia? Am I crazy?
I think so.
Macaberry, tell me in the chat.
Wild.
Am I crazy or are you from Australia? Oh, he says down under.
Trey on the board. Trey is on the board, ladies and gents. Roll it again. Unconscious Conscience has been selected.
Mike, we got people from all around the world just loving the Chiefs here on the channel.
I love it, dude.
We got Rainer today out here just freaking killing it, supporting the channel like
Islands,
crazy
baby.
For the Virgin Islands.
Regan
We got our
22.
boy Enrique over there in freaking what's it called? Forgot where he went.
Enrique, he went to like South America somewhere.
I don't even remember.
Savannah, Georgia, Chiefs fan.
All right, how many we got left?
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that'll be it. We got 11 on the board. Let's do one more just to see if it holds.
Let's make it 12.
Anthony Childs gets picked, ladies and gents.
Let's go.
Okay, so we got 12 on the board. Let me bring up the wheel and we'll get to spinning. This will be fun. Again, if you win a poster, give us an email at allchiefedup@gmail.com. Let me put this on the board, and here we go. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
Okay,
we
sweet.
can see it.
Let's spin it. Let's go. You don't want your name to come up, by the way. You want to be the last 2 remaining on the wheel. That's the game. So sorry, Macaberry.
Damn. That fast, huh?
Uh-oh. Bam or Trey. Who is it? Oh, it's Trey. I like how the guy just rages in the background.
It's the best part.
Yep. Oh, is it going to get to Reeland? It's not. Unconscious Conscience. Pretty sure Reeland was only 22. It says 222, so sorry. Oh, Reeland, I don't know why I picked that. I don't know why I switched it for you.
Mike, you're always finding new ways to jinx everybody.
I guess
on the Will of
so.
Death.
My bad. Who's this going to be? Brenda. Sorry, Brenda.
Dang.
Sorry, Brenda. The guy was so excited. Brian Parrott. Did he survive? Oh my God, it's the closest survival I've ever seen. Bam. Off the board. I think out of all these people, though, that are still left.
Don't say it.
I was going to say, I think only Brian Parrott's the only one who got a poster.
Jinxed him. Dude, why do you do this every time?
There's no way it can really jinx.
I told you to stop.
I'm trying it again. Who can I jinx? I'm going to jinx somebody. I'm going to jinx one of you guys, but don't get mad at me.
Bartman. I'm picking Bartman.
You're going to pick Bartman to jinx? I like Bartman's name, but let's
because
just
I don't think that's how it works. I don't think that's how it works.
See, it didn't work that time.
Dang, got Anthony.
I don't think we're that big of a jinx. I think it's just coincidental.
You have to do it without thinking about it. It's not a jinx if you think about it.
Okay, well, look, it's between Angela, Bartman, and Savannah. So if you get called, you lose, and the other two win. So you don't want to see your name right here. Let's go. Why does Angela Leak's name say Angela Reek?
Dang, Mike, tell us how you really feel.
I was thinking of Tyreek Hill. Like, I got Tyreek on the brain, ladies and gents.
All right.
Okay, so Bartman and Savannah.
Yeah, you guys send us an email over at allchiefedup@gmail.com with your shipping address, and we'll send you out some posters. Hey, Trish, good to see you. I see you in the chat. See, if Mike randomly mentions a name, you screw them over.
I know. I guess it's just got to be like a random.
See, I said a name with not random. I'm just like Bartman, and he won.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, dude. Maybe I'm good luck and you're bad luck. I don't know. But we have to do one more thing before we leave today, Mike.
What? What's up?
We have to do it because we've been sitting at a standstill for about over a week now. And I think it's time to finally see who's going to take the lead here.
Where in the world is
K-Wayne?
Oh, K-Wayne, I know you're out there somewhere, but where are you?
There's going to be a K-Wayne.
All right, well, I've won the last 15 of them. We're tied up at 6. But let's see here. I'll go first, and I have to make it something good, so you can't pin me in. You can't Prices Right me to death.
I just don't know.
I'm just going to go with the old tried and true. I'm going to say Grand Rapids, Michigan. He's in Michigan, okay? So you can trap me if you want, but I'm going to go with Michigan. Or you can just play the game.
I'm going to say he's in Germany. No, I'm joking. Let me see. I'm going to pick another one that he likes to go to an awful lot. I'm going to say, I'm going to say Columbus, Ohio.
I don't like the fact that when I said Michigan, K-Wayne said no. I'm not liking the way this is going.
I'm going to go with Columbus, Ohio. I think he's further. I think he's up in the Northeast.
Maccaberry, K-Wayne is not in Louisville, or he would have asked for clearance today.
Yeah,
he hasn't done that. So,
okay, K-Wayne, who's taking the lead? Can Mike pull it out?
Where did you say?
I need to get on the board. Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, so you did try to pin me in. I see what you did there.
I just kind of went. I was thinking he was in Pennsylvania, but I didn't want to go that far east.
Where you at, K-Wayne?
You could still win. He could go to.
Dang, he's in California, bro.
Dang. Hey, and see, you might be closer.
No, I don't think so.
You might be closer.
Oh, it might be.
Let's do a map. Let's see.
This is interesting.
It's pretty interesting. Okay, so what did you say?
He's in Barstow, California. I said Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Grand Rapids, Michigan to Barstow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you are
so close.
2,062 miles away. But
Dang.
you still maybe. I think you're closer. To be honest,
so?
I forgot what I even said.
You said Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus. I was going to say Dayton. Columbus, Ohio. You're 2,062. I am 2,171. So technically, you won by like 100.
I went out. This is my first lead since we started.
Yeah, I think so too. See, you always say you Price is Right people, but that's not the. You can't play the Price is Right in this game.
Yeah, true. Because who would have thought he was way over there in California?
Look, when I prices righted you, that just means if he was in the South. But anywhere else, I actually lost everywhere else.
Dang. Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. But yeah, I appreciate you guys being here tonight. Please do us a favor. Hit that like button on the way out if you haven't already. Also, if you haven't watched today's video, go to our video section and watch that because it's a good one. It's only about 10 minutes long, so watch the whole thing. Click the like button. Get in the comments. Do all that fun stuff. It helps us out. But appreciate you guys. And once again, just want to shout out BetUS for powering this live stream. We appreciate them. So go to betus.com and use the code YouTube150 and check that out. Have some fun over there, man. And we'll be back Saturday night with a tailgate for the game, and we'll deep dive into that New Orleans Saints matchup. Also, keep your eye out for short content, long content, all that good stuff in between. So we'll see you guys next time.
Go Chiefs.
There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my soul. There goes a